Hey Wisecrack, Corporeal Jared again. Since Destiny 2 dropped, we've been grinding over public events, the Crucible, and strikes. Oddly enough, while playing, an amazing thing happened. There's an actual narrative to follow this time. Sure, the original had all the grimoire cards, but seriously.
Ain't nobody got time for that!
This time we get a glimpse into the motivation of the game's antagonist, and it's not simple revenge, delusions of grandeur, or monomaniacal madness. Nope, the main villain of Destiny 2 is driven by the same thing that people run on now: pride and envy. Welcome to this Wisecrack Quick Take on Destiny 2, and as usual, spoilers ahead. First things first, a quick recap. Destiny 2 opens with Dominus Gaul, also known as Gary.
Today we know our enemy. His name is
Gary! Or Gil. Glenn? Is it? I don't know. It's something with a G!
The military leader of the Cabal and his crew, the Red Legion, assaulting the Tower, the last real city on Earth. Dominus and his crew blow shit up, steal the mystical Light of the Traveler, a giant planet-shaped god, and kidnap the Traveler's speaker, who is a prophet of sorts. You play as a Guardian and are now screwed because without the Traveler's Light, you've become a mere mortal. So you have to travel the galaxy to restore the Traveler's Light and defeat Dominus. Destiny has always been filled with Judeo-Christian allusions and undertones. The Guardians are corpses brought back to life with the Traveler's Light, like Christian salvation and resurrection, and the game all but says the Traveler is a god that sacrifices itself for the greater good of the universe, a la the crucifixion.
Its sacrifice destroyed its ancient enemy and brought life to the ghosts.
The main characters, the Guardians of the Traveler's Light, may as well be the Guardians of God's divine light, aka his heavenly choir of angels. Get it? Guardian angels. This light business is a pretty big theme in Destiny. The Guardians are literally powered by light, and when you die in Destiny 2, we see your light fades away. And what's the opposite of light? Well, darkness. Still not buying the biblical connection? Consider this passage. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. The evil that the Traveler fled in the original Destiny was the darkness. When you died in Destiny, you saw the darkness consumed you. The loss of light is the central theme in Destiny. Destiny 2 gets a little more specific, and borrows heavily from a 340-year-old epic poem by John Milton, Paradise Lost. Milton's poem traces the fall of man and follows Satan on his journey to get revenge on God, by corrupting his newly created paradise and its inhabitants, Adam and Eve. Destiny 2 seems inspired by one of Milton's central motifs, the juxtaposition of light and dark. Milton's angels are represented as light because of the goodness and illumination of God's grace. Meanwhile, the demons are described via darkness and their absence of light. Dominus Gaul, in a way, plays the role of Satan, whose angel name was Lucifer, or Latin for light bearer. And Gaul is pretty fixated on stealing the Traveler's light.
The Traveler will choose me, speaker.
While the parallels between Gaul and Satan are intriguing, they're pretty essential to understanding who you're fighting. According to the lead designer of Destiny 2, Luke Smith, Gaul is motivated by a sort of inferiority complex. Gaul was an orphaned space turtle raised to believe that the Traveler messed up when he chose humanity. Gaul is taught to believe that he is the greatest thing in the universe since Nutella.
He's here because he believes the Traveler, in choosing us, made the wrong choice. And in Destiny 2, Gaul intends to show the Traveler the error of its ways.
It shouldn't be surprising that this is also Satan's motivation in Paradise Lost. Lucifer is pissed that he was skipped over for that big promotion. God gave the number 2 slot to his son, and so he plots to burn down heaven and tempt man to turn away from God. Gaul, by comparison, is pissed the Traveler chose the Guardians, so he kicks them out of the tower and tries to bend the Traveler to his will.
Take your place at the center of my empire. See me, and the Red Legion will be your true guardians.
One thing that seems odd about Gaul's motivation is the Consul, Gaul's adoptive father, keeps telling him to stop messing around with the speaker and just to take the light.
Claim what is rightfully yours and take this power!
Eventually, Gaul kills the Consul and the speaker and takes the light. If he took the light anyway, why the hell did he kill the Consul? Why did he wait so long? The answer is complicated, but to simplify, Gaul was holding out for recognition. He is seeking affection and love from a god, but in a messed up way. Recognition has a long philosophical tradition, but we're going to talk about what it means for our old friend Wilhelm Hegel. For Hegel, people desire a self, a sort of consciousness, or what some people call subjectivity. And there are all sorts of steps that people take to achieve subjectivity. Recognition takes place primarily through vision, and in order for recognition to occur, both subjects need to feel like one another are worthy of recognition. Most people aren't reassured by a thumbs up from Charles Manson because it doesn't exactly scream, "You're doing the right thing." But a thumbs up from a role model or a god, well, that gives you all the warm and fuzzies. Gaul is searching for validation from what he considers to be an equal.
Do you see, traveler, all that I have done?
Because, well, Gaul is basically a god given that he is the emperor of the Cabal. Gaul's motivation for recognition comes from the fact that he was a runt and an orphan who was cast aside and abandoned. Even giant space turtles have low self-esteem, I guess. Dominus hopes that in decimating the Guardians, he will show the Traveler that he's deserving of the light, that he'll be recognized as a true subject worthy of protecting the light. He's willing to do pretty much anything, like quasi-crucify the Speaker in order to get that sweet light, or really godlike immortality. He'll even blow up the sun for it. Gaul believes he is worthy because all of the sacrifice that he's gone through. Because the Guardians were just picked willy-nilly in Destiny 1, Gaul doesn't believe the Guardians have sacrificed anything. And in a way, Gaul is right. I mean, the Guardians were endowed with immortality at random. They don't have any fear of death. They didn't pull themselves up by their space boots or anything. They just sort of got lucky.
Tell me again, Speaker, what makes your Guardians worthy of the light?
Devotion, self-sacrifice, death.
Beneath my mask, Speaker, is the face of devotion and sacrifice.
So when the Speaker tells him that the Traveler has never spoken to him and that there is no chance in hell he will ever get the light, Gaul flips out, kills the Speaker, and takes it anyway. Even though Gaul said word for word, "I will not take the light."
I will not take the light by force. To do so would be to admit failure, and I never fail.
It's here that Gaul becomes the villain of Destiny. Once he kills the console and the Speaker and takes the light, he rejects the recognition model that governs Hegel's ethics and goes straight to thievery and universal domination. In a full circle moment, he replicates Satan's biggest sin, the hubris to believe that he could ever be an equal to God. So when Gaul is killed in the last fight and resurrects as a giant marshmallow god thing, he has to ask if the Traveler finally recognizes him, if he finally sees him.
Do you see me now?
But the Traveler can't see him. So there you have it, a tale of hubris and recognition. Personally, I love the strong narrative component of Destiny 2, but I also love just aimlessly walking around, killing stuff, and picking up loot. I love the microtransactions a little less. But what do you guys think? Should the game stick to the basics or explore more of these themes in the future? Thanks for watching, guys. Peace. Thanks for watching, Wisecrack. If you're able to tear yourself away from Destiny 2 and are looking for more smart content, I'd recommend checking out our friends over at Screen Prism. They dive into the movies and TV shows you're already watching and explore themes, concept, and technique you might have missed the first time around. We've really enjoyed their Game of Thrones House Symbolism series, where they've been studying the origins and histories of George R.R. Martin's beloved characters and analyzing some of the differences between how the families are depicted in the books and the show. Especially now that Season 7 is over, you're going to need something to tide you over till we get more. So click here to head over to Screen Prism or use the link in the description, and be sure to check out their other videos and subscribe while you're there. And if you enjoyed this video, keep on the lookout for our upcoming episodes on the movie It, the anime Berserk, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss what we've got coming up next. Catch y'all next time. Peace.